All right, we'll open this meeting of January 4th, 2016. Let the record show that all selectmen are present. John Scanlon is with us on speakerphone.
Can we get a hologram?
This meeting is to discuss an appeal to DES on the DES decision.
Does that require legal representation?
I don't think so.
No.
Oh, you might have Joe in your camp now.
Well, as long as you don't have to pay an effing lawyer.
Do you know that
I'll consider
administrative appeals go on?
Are there any good, are there regular lawyers, or are they all effing?
Low priority.
Every one of them.
AG's office, the state AG's office represents the state agencies in these.
Yeah, but they have a water council. DES does. I don't know if we'd go for that with that, because the aquifer, or if it'll go the other route, because it's solid waste.
If we appealed it, when we were talking at the public hearing, and they said, you can appeal our decision, it would go to the water council. That was at the time of the public hearing.
Is that what
Can't fill out their
Mike's
own.
letter says?
Oh, I didn't find that. I didn't read it for that. But no, I mean,
I don't have Mike's letter.
this is just a cover letter. That's not from Mike, that's from Pamela. This is his decision.
Count the hours.
I went straight to the meat of it. Supersede permit. First issued June 20th, 2005. Have they been there that long? This is his permit, so I don't see anything in there. I went online and looked it up on the RSA's. It's 21:C or something, 5 and 7. But I don't see anything in here that tells us about it.
What was the date of their decision?
All of these three of these documents are dated December 4th.
Okay.
Now, I didn't read those RSA's real close to see if they said from the date of the decision or the date the decision's received. And 90% of the time, it's the date
Of the
of the
decision.
decision.
Yeah.
Now, if George has found something else, and he has time, and he wants to appeal it, that's
question
fine.
is, does
I
the
don't know
board-
if I would,
Does the board want to go along with an appeal if there's time?
Appeal specifically of what?
to allow them to go forward with their project of bringing in solid waste. Was it 350 tons per day?
What part of it? Is it a condition that we're
300 or
appealing?
500?
Or
That was
just the
350
entire
tons
thing?
per day.
The entire thing?
We would, well, that's a good question, Joe, because we would probably want to appeal the decision to expand. There are a couple of things that they've addressed as far as monitoring wells and things like that, that we wouldn't need to appeal those decisions because they're already built in.
This permit modification authorizes the facility to receive your municipal solid waste and increases by 350 tons per day, the
Increases
average
by
daily
350.
throughout the rate of the facility for management of municipal solid waste. Holy crap, this
It's
is,
up to like 504 tons a day.
is that what it increases to?
Yeah.
Also, for administrative purposes, to update citations and provide clarity, the record of permit modification also consolidates into one document all provisions of the permit, including all permit modifications and related approvals that have occurred since the permit was first issued on June 20th, 2005. So, he would be appealing the decision to allow them to increase to 350 tons per day.
So that's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if you look at the response to public comment, they're basically saying they have covered all of this. They're allowing them to do this in the safest way possible. Managing the leachate, hot loads, they're gonna have to build a pad, they're gonna have to present a plan to them on the pad. Are there contingency plans in case there's a contamination at the site? And their plan includes a contingency plan covering fire, explosions, injury, petroleum spills, accidents, blah, blah, blah. Is there a bond in place? The facility is required to provide financial assurance to guarantee the cost of properly closing the facility. I mean, basically, they're telling us they've covered it.
That's what my question. What are we basing an appeal of that tonnage increase on? Like you say, they've addressed all the questions. If there's something specific I can put behind it, I'm not in favor of putting garbage in the aquifer neighborhood, but I just can't see how we have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, here it is. The applicant should find a location for this facility. The facility is sited in conformance with the New Hampshire solid waste rules. Therefore, DES has no grounds for requiring the facility to close or relocate. DES believes that the modified permit provides a number of protections that mitigate public concerns about the location of this facility. The application should be denied because it is a danger to the aquifer. Following careful reviews of the application, DES does not find grounds in ENV-SW 305.03 for denying the application. Further, as detailed above, the modified permit obligates the permittee to make operational physical improvements at the facility that will provide more aquifer protection than is currently provided. I mean, that kind of,
Is it
you know,
enough?
so DES firmly believes that they're doing everything necessary and beyond
Well,
to
no.
protect the
If
aquifer.
they were, there'd be some sort of bond in the event the aquifer is contaminated to replace the water source.
That's the big missing thing.
Well, DES
He doesn't
doesn't think,
say yes
seem
or
to think
no.
they need
No,
it.
Right, but he's just saying that he thinks that it does,
I,
his letter does address some of your concerns about protections.
Right.
oh yeah, here's this letter.
Let him know if we wanted to.
Whose letter?
George's, on December 8th. This letter is to initiate the appeal process for the decision made by the Solid Waste Division of DES on December 8th, 2015. Yeah, so instead of the 4th, he's saying the 8th.
Yes.
I don't know why he's saying that.
Maybe that's when he
To allow
received it.
see, and he says to allow a solid waste transfer station over a stratified drift aquifer in Belmont. But aren't they already receiving garbage?
Yes.
So they're already a
They're
solid
already,
waste
it's
transfer station.
already an established.
No,
exact-
no,
They're
they're not,
increasing.
no. They are not already a solid waste transfer. They're construction demo. We're adding the solid waste.
On top of it.
Okay.
That's the
On top of
amendment.
it.
Because it was confusing when I read to increase their tonnage.
It's total tonnage, but the original tonnage was construction demo
C
only.
and D.
Yes,
C and D.
and now we're adding MSW.
And recycling.
Yeah,
And recycling.
yeah.
They're adding the MSW.
Yes, that's the new one.
What's TPD?
Tons per day.
The permit modification authorizes the facility to receive municipal solid waste and increases by 350 tons per day. See, that tells me that they already were.
No,
Total tonnage.
It doesn't say that.
Well,
no,
that's what it
you
is.
had your recycling and your C and D prior that was around, was it 150-ish?
Something like that. They had,
Yeah, because at 154, I think, because the new total went to like 504, some odd
But
number.
regardless of that,
It went to 504, I know that.
Right, and so you subtract the 350, you're down to one.
I'm,
124? No,
I,
74.
if he has a way of appealing this that we don't know of, I don't know if I want to say, no, I'm not going to support you, but on the other hand,
we have to decide today, pretty much.
shouldn't you know when the sink is shipping? I mean, the ship is sinking.
But here's Dan's.
Either way.
Did you reread Dan's take on the DES? Hold on a minute.
No, he's not one of my favorite attorneys, to be quite honest.
You have a favorite?
Yeah, I have several.
Scumbags.
I have several. One of my favorites turned into a judge. But his daughter's pretty nice. No, I haven't. I think he makes his point pretty well with the first one, doesn't he?
Pat,
Yep,
in their plans, they never showed that their detention pond will treat CODs. They only said that it will treat sediment. They didn't say anything about treating heavy metals or that. Now, that's something that is one of the big problems. The other thing is that presently they're non-conforming because of their drain in their building that they do their transfers. According to their original permit that they got for the small amount of MSW, they had to have a drain in that. They never did have a drain and a collection system. So,
isn't that addressed in the DES criteria?
in the DES criteria says that they are presently that their transfer facility in their pad for the MSW is already set up for that, but it's not.
They couldn't accept MSW there.
No, the requirements are that they have to they have to do a couple of things before they can.
Well,
And that's listed in
the hot
here.
pad is different. There's two different pads. There's the hot load pad, and then there's the other pad, which is the MSW transfer pad. And the MSW transfer pad that they have now is not conforming.
They don't have
They
one.
don't have one now. They don't accept
No.
MSW there. They accept C&D, construction and demolition, and mixed recycling. Their permit is to allow them to accept up to 350 tons of municipal solid waste per day. They don't accept MSW there.
They have a transfer facility inside a building that they do that.
Not MSW, John.
Belmont transfers their stuff from there into larger containers.
Then they're in violation of the original permit, which was C&D and recyclables only.
That's right.
So you're saying they're in violation of the original?
From what I read, yes, that the building that they have is not set up for handling MSW correctly, and DES is saying that it is. But it isn't. They don't have the proper drain that DES is assuming they do. And DES's decision is based on that they are creating a pond, a detention pond. And that detention pond's not set up for CODs and heavy metals, but they haven't proven that.
Well, then maybe instead of appealing the decision,
I mean, we can point
we could
that out
make
at
a
any
case
time, whether
that
we
they
appeal the
have
decision or not.
overlooked some of these items. I don't know.
Can we do that instead of appealing it? I mean, you can't, once they make a decision, I don't think we can point out their mistakes or inaccuracies based on a decision that they made. We had a 30-day window to appeal when we could point out their inaccuracies. That's the whole point
You
of
can
it.
point out at any time that they're not set up correctly.
That's true.
We're gonna have spies over there. I'm still baffled by George thinking he has until December 8th. But the question is, what do we want to do about George? Are we gonna support him in his appeal-making process? I don't mind saying to George, look, I'll support you if you want to make an appeal, but I'm not gonna help pay for any attorneys.
Is he in talks with the water district?
I gave him Scott Davis's number.
That's the
But I
biggest,
don't know if he's contacted him. I did give him, he asked for his number, I gave it to him. But I didn't, that's all I
I
know.
don't want to blow the wind out of his sails.
Well, I can't support a vague appeal that I don't even know what I'm appealing.
You're appealing the decision to allow them to increase 350 tons.
Well, based on what
We're not-
John is
No,
saying,
I'm not.
based on what John is saying, they're in error, not in conformity now. And if our appeal at least points that out to them, I think it would be worth appealing it.
I think you better know what you're talking about first, because I don't think they take MSW there at all. That's my belief. So, I don't think they're out of compliance, because I don't think they take MSW. So what would I be appealing?
But here's the quandary. We know from reports made by the fire department, whatnot, that they had a hot load of garbage.
That's correct.
So if they weren't allowed to take garbage before, how did they get a hot load of garbage?
Hot load of C and D,
What's C and D?
construction demo.
No, this was garbage.
No, it was not garbage.
John,
It was
wasn't
a-
it garbage that they had a hot load of?
If you're going to believe the newspapers, then
No,
No,
it was
this
at
is
the
in the
public
report
hearing.
from the
It was
fire
not MSW.
I believe that they are permitted for MSW.
Wow.
pull the original permit then and check it.
And that their original application was to increase the MSW amount.
No, increase,
From, so many tons to
I vote
500 tons.
no, the total daily tonnage through the facility, adding MSW.
Yeah.
Well, I'll support George if he wants to appeal the permit that allows them to increase by 350 tons per day.
If it's not going to cost us a lawyer, I would support it. They're only going to say no
Right, or yes.
or yes, one or the other.
I vote no.
Yep. If we did an appeal, I would make sure that pointed out that their plans have not proven that they will treat their the discrepancies or the whatever it is, the shortfalls, whatever they call it, that they filed with EPA, and also that they're non-conforming with their drainage in their transfer building.
That's true.
We put those in there.
That's true.
So can you work with George and bring up some of these facts?
Yeah, I can do that. What's that timeline?
Tonight? It's going to be tonight. Supposedly, he thinks it's the 8th,
The 7th.
the 7th, that it has to be filed by.
So that's when he received it, because it went out on a Friday the 4th. He'd get it on Monday the 7th.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Well, according to the website, the Belmont facility does not take municipal solid waste.
This
Wow,
letter is to, okay,
I already knew that.
but does
I gotta
that,
show John.
oh,
And we can throw anything into the appeal and let them sift through it.
Websites aren't always,
yeah, does that
just
mean
feels
they
like
don't
rolling
allow
in.
people to pull in, or do
We
they?
still have to negotiate
yeah,
with
these are
these
their
people.
drop-off hours, and this is what people can drop off.
But they maybe they accept it from trucks, their own trucks.
That could be. They're calling it a transfer station.
They
Yes.
do accept it from their own trucks. That's where the hot load came from. They made it.
MSW.
Anyway, my vote is,
Might have been if the
yes,
truck
no
was
money,
parked
but
to go
yes,
the
I
next
will
day to...
support
It
his
was.
appeal so we can
But they
make
don't-
some
It was
but they
supposed
corrections
to go
to
to
it.
Littleton or someplace up north. That's when they saw the hot load. What'd you say, Catherine?
I said my vote is yes. I would give my, yes, I will support your decision to appeal the DES decision, but no money. Not spending money on lawyers on it.
Did they expect us to like sign something and we're throwing the official weight of the, such as it is, of the Board of Selectmen in the town of Tilton behind this?
That's quite a bit of tonnage.
Or just, they want it,
He doesn't want to go it alone.
George Condomenatraki
Demo tracking.
whatever it is, has never been afraid of going it alone, ever, in my experience.
I've known him for over 40 years.
And he's afraid of...
No, but he
No.
knows the power of numbers. He's
Yeah.
not, he's a very wise man.
No. Yeah, he's a wise guy, all right. And I vote no.
Okay. John, what's your consensus?
Yeah, I think we should go along with the appeal and throw as much stuff at them as we can, and it's not going to cost the town anything. We do have some legitimate facts.
All right, and you'll contact George tonight? I'll text you
Yeah.
his number?
Yeah, you can text me his number and I'll give him a call.
Okay. My vote's going to be yes. Peter?
Yes, no money.
Okay. All right. Done deal. We'll get in touch with George, let him know that you'll be calling. Catherine, you're going to talk with George as well, right? You and John?
I talk to George frequently.
Okay. So,
Yeah. Hopefully, it will make a difference. If not, we can have, Joyce and the selectmen can have a I told you so party.
okay. All right. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm going
John.
to make a motion to adjourn.
Like,
All those in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Thanks, John.
Bye.
These timesheets have to be corrected. You have Steve Henry